Just to give you a little bit of context here. You guys know that when it was first announced that Netflix was going to get into the race to try to get Warner Brothers, I said this would be the worst case scenario if Netflix got them. Now, that was months ago. In that time, though, I have to admit, Ted Sarandos and the folks at Netflix have laid out a very good case about, one, why they want Warner Brothers, and two, why it would be a really good thing for them to get Warner Brothers. And you know what? They've sold it to me. I'm sold. Now, I would still rather Warner Brothers stay just completely independent, but understanding they're going to get purchased, and it just clearly this is in Netflix's best interests. Anyway, one of the big questions that has been surrounding the whole issue is, if Netflix get Warner Brothers, will they still let Warner Brothers do theatrical? To which Ted Sarandos said, why do you think we're spending $70 billion? We're not spending that much money just so we can get a few more movies put on Netflix. We can do that for a lot cheaper. Mm-hmm. We want in the theater business, and we're not equipped for it at Netflix. Warner Brothers is. They've got the personnel, they've got the infrastructure, they've got the infrastructure, I should say. They've got decades of experience. That's why we want in. That's why we want Warner Brothers. So, yeah, he's committed. Warner Brothers movies are going to continue to be put in theaters. And the assumption has been that Netflix would then just continue to put Netflix's movies on Netflix. But maybe not. Because according to a new interview with Ted Sarandos, this has come to us from Bloomberg, Netflix says the Warner Brothers deal would actually increase the number of movies going to theaters. And it's actually going to be Netflix movies. This is what Ted Sarandos said. Ted Sarandos, co-chief executive officer of Netflix Inc., said his company's acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery will lead to more films in theaters, addressing a key complaint from Hollywood in the high-stakes battle for one of the industry's iconic studios. A merger of Netflix and Warner Brothers is better for theaters because Netflix will be able to take its films and put them in cinemas using the distribution network that Warner Brothers has built, Sarandos said Thursday in an interview on Bloomberg TV. It is likely you will have even more of an outcome of high-quality films for the theaters if this deal goes through, he said.
Here comes Red Notice 2, baby.
Oh, my God. Now, I want you to notice, he never said we're going to put all Netflix movies in theaters. Of course not. They should. 90%, 95, 99% of Netflix original movies are pure trash. But they do put out the odd good one here and there. They really do. And the fact that, you know, Rob Sarandos has said before, the thing is, we know nothing about the theater business. That's not what we're built. We're a television company. We're a streaming company. We don't know how to do that. We don't have the infrastructure that Warner Brothers has. We don't have the international networks that Warner Brothers has. We simply do not have the logistics for it. That's not our business. We don't know it, but they do. And hey, if we now are partnered with them, now we have that infrastructure too. We can take what's been a really good Netflix movie. I don't know, K-pop Demon Hunters. We can take K-pop, or we can take The Irishman.
Or Knives Out.
Or we can take a Knives Out.
Yeah.
And now we have our own fully fleshed out international distribution arm. We can actually start putting Netflix films in theaters more. So Sarandos is now going the extra mile and going like, listen, not only is Warner Brothers going to keep having their films in theaters, because that's what's going to make us the most money. Always trust greed, everybody. But now he's saying, we now actually have the avenue and the mechanisms to actually put Netflix films in theaters. So Rob, I mean, listen, he's already sold me, but he continues to make a really good case for this. Anyway, what did you think about the comments he made?
Well, I mean, it's exciting to hear. Like we talked about, Knives Out started out as a very viable, it made $300 million worldwide theatrically. And then they bought it. And then, Glass Onion and Wake Up Dead Man didn't go to theaters.
Yeah.
And
or at least very limitedly.
Yeah, but they could have, if it had a major international release, you would have made at least 300 million, maybe 400 or 500, $500 million you left on the table. I mean, you have two times two. And then those movies are going to go on Netflix anyway.
And be bigger on Netflix than they would have been if you didn't put them in theaters.
100%. I mean, and also I think theatrically, look, The Wrecking Crew could have gone out theatrically. Warner Brothers could have put a robust marketing budget behind that, and people would have turned out to see it in the theater. It would have been, people would have liked it. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think, obviously, I don't think Ted Sarandos is BSing when he says this, because that's why they are buying. That's why they're paying this much money to Warner Brothers. And I like the fact, because it just reinforces the idea, bolsters the idea that he's going to leave Warner Brothers to do its Warner Brothers-ing. They're not going to tear it apart. They're not going to, because like you've pointed out, there's no redundancy there, and they'll have a great pipeline and get great. I mean, look what they would get. Wuthering Heights was Warner Brothers' release last week. It's going to cross $100 million at the global box office this weekend, if not more. And they're going to get that movie. And the 8 movies that Warner Brothers had that opened at #1 last year. I mean, it shows that Warner Brothers is in the theatrical business. They're doing well. They also have great relationships with filmmakers, and that means so will Netflix. So it works out well for everybody.
Yeah.
I think that it's good for the business.
Now, by the way, I just want to remind everybody of this. When this interview came out today, I still heard people saying, like, this is all smoke screen. Sarandos just wants to kill the movie theaters. But as maybe you didn't see the episode where we did the math on this, do you know how much they're spending on getting Warner Brothers? It's 60 or 70 billion. It's in that neighborhood somewhere. 60 to 70 billion dollars. Do you know how much it would cost them to buy all 10 of the biggest movie theater chains in the world? It was around $10 billion less. Like literally, if he really just wanted to kill all the movie theaters, he literally could just buy all the top 10 movie theater exhibitors, including AMC, Regal, Cinemark, you name it, buy them all for around $10 billion. He's not spending an extra $50 billion to just do something that he could do with $10 billion. I mean, he really does see this as a way to make more money. And what I always tell people is this: trust in corporations always doing what's in their own best interests. If you can't trust anything else, trust greed. Trust that corporations will always do what is in their own best interests. And the reality is, Rob, every way you cut this and every way you look at this, what is in the corporation's best interest, Netflix in this case, is to actually take over Warner Brothers and partner with it, let it operate on that market and on that level, because it will increase their business. It's in their own best interest to do this. So I don't know. It's looking better and better, to be honest with you. Although I still wish Warner Brothers just wouldn't sell to anybody.
Right.
Anyway, guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Factor. Cold days, packed schedules, and let's be honest, when February hits, staying on track with eating well gets tough. And that's why I love Factor. Factor makes eating healthy deliciously easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, so you can eat well without the planning, shopping, or cooking. One of my main go-to meals lately is their high protein options. You're getting quality functional ingredients like lean proteins, colorful vegetables, whole foods, and healthy fats. Plus, they have over 100 rotating weekly meals, including Calorie Smart, Mediterranean, GLP-1 support, ready-to-eat salads, and even their new Muscle Pro collection for strength and recovery. Everything arrives fresh, never frozen, and is ready in about 2 minutes. All that and more is why I highly recommend Factor. Head to factormeals.com/Campea50off and use the code Campea50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan. One free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active. With that said, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, Ted Sarandos is now saying not only are you going to continue to get all of Warner Brothers films, you're going to start seeing more Netflix films actually put in theaters, because now we have the infrastructure to do it, which we've never had before. It kind of sweetens it a little bit. Anyway, whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.